What you need to know about the Endem. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Sarah Scarlett. First on Fox, residents north of Ruston can now breathe easier after an ammonia pipeline has been temporarily fixed. But questions still surround why the leak happened in the first place. Fox 14's Brian Briggs spoke with officials to try to get to the bottom of the rupture. Brian?
That's right, Sarah. Some residents in north of Ruston had quite a scare this morning when a pipeline sprung a leak yesterday evening. The dangerous fumes prompted the Lincoln Parish Sheriff's Office to evacuate residents living in close proximity to the pipeline. Some residents had to shelter in place, while some were out of their homes for almost 20 hours.
And this person smelled something that smelled kind of like ammonia, and he also noticed something spraying out of the ground. So that's where it all kind of started.
Coming up at 9, I spoke with the Lincoln Parish Sheriff's Office and the Louisiana State Police to get more information on the pipeline and what residents in the area should expect over the next few days. Live in the control room, Brian Briggs, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Brian. The Union Parish Sheriffs need your help finding a man suspected of having sex with 2 teenagers. Police are looking for 21-year-old Christopher Foster of Farmerville. Police say he is suspected of having sex with a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old during June of this year. He's wanted on charges of 2 counts of felony carnal knowledge. If you know where Foster is, please call the Union Parish Sheriff's Office at 318-368-3124. One person is now under arrest for a June home invasion in Swartz, and police are still searching for at least 2 more suspects. Ouachita Parish deputies say it happened just after midnight on June 17th at the Pioneer Place Apartments off Highway 594. Investigators say 2 masked gunmen forced several people back into an apartment and stole cash, a gun, cell phones, and an Xbox. Police say 19-year-old Jeremy Badger, who was one of the people held at gunpoint, was actually part of a criminal conspiracy to rob the group. Investigators say several days after the crime, Badger tried to sell the Xbox through Facebook. He's charged with criminal conspiracy and armed robbery. Police are still looking for the 2 gunmen. A Louisiana man has been arrested after being accused of sending lewd pictures of a former co-worker. State police arrested 26-year-old Jimmy Cassis. Cassis accused of attempting to blackmail a former U.S. Army co-worker by sending lewd pictures of the victim to the victim's general. Cassis was a former state police cadet, but was fired in June after police learned of the Army's investigation of him. Warrants were issued for his arrest on August 6th, but Cassis had fled the state. He was caught on August 31st in Van Buren Township, Michigan, and extradited back to Louisiana last Friday. Ouachita Parish Sheriff's investigators need your help to find a missing man. Police are searching for 35-year-old Donald Adkins of West Monroe. He's been missing for about a week, and he's a white male with black hair and hazel eyes, standing 6 foot tall and weighing about 220 pounds. He has a tattoo of 2 bulldogs fighting on his chest and praying hands on his shoulder blade. He was last seen in Balcomville. If you have any information, please call the Sheriff's Office at 318-329-1200. Well, it's a win for waterways. Congress is awarding money to 4 projects on the water, including the Lake Providence Port. Fox 14's Bria Jones spoke to the resident of the local levee board about the impact it will have on farmers. Bria?
Yes, Sarah, Congressman Ralph Abraham also announced the passing of the Water Resources Development Act. 4 projects in northeast Louisiana were awarded funding. High on the list, funds to dredge the port of Lake Providence. The port is the largest inland port along the Mississippi River and impacts farmers in both Louisiana and Arkansas. The port was awarded $1.3 million for dredging. Ronald Minsky, the 5th Louisiana Levee Board president, says the money will help farmers move their products, especially the grain.
If we lost that port, I don't know what it would do to this community. If the farmers can't move the grain, then they don't have any place to store it. They can't cut it. They can only cut so much a day, but if they can't move it, they'll have to stop cutting, and that's the holdup.
At 9, hear from Congressman Ralph Abraham as he talks about the fight in Washington to secure the federal funds for the port. In the studio, Bria Jones, Fox 14 News. Thanks, Bria.
The West Carroll Parish Law Enforcement District received a big boost from the feds today. Congressman Ralph Abraham announced today that $53,000 will be awarded to West Carroll law enforcement. They'll use the money to buy 2 fully equipped squad cars. The grant comes from the Department of Agriculture's Community Facilities Program. The cars will cost around $71,000 each, leaving the district to cover the remaining $18,000. Abraham said, "Our law enforcement officers do so much to keep our communities safe, so it's important that they have the resources they need to keep up their good work." This is the second grant that has been awarded to the West Carroll law enforcement agencies since June. A reminder for drivers, there will be one less way to get across the Washita. The Indom Bridge is closing for unexpected repairs from 8 o'clock tomorrow morning until about 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon. The Department of Transportation and Development says that a fourth bridge would ease traffic flow, but no plans or proposals are on the table. Coming up on Fox 14, Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation to the Supreme Court seemed all but certain. But what happens now that a woman has accused him of sexual assault back in high school? We'll have the latest from Washington.